My truth is not irrelevant, but pertinent to the cause. The cause of freedom, the cause of love, the cause of justice. I hear these calls in my dreams. I hear these calls during the day as I daydream of a life that is greater than the life that I live, a life walking with the Father, walking with the Master, walking with the Teacher, walking with my Father. There is nothing more powerful than the truth. There's nothing more greater than the truth. The truth will set you free. It is time for you to release your deepest, darkest secrets to the world. It is time for you to come out of the shadows of embarrassment, out of the shadows of shame, out of the shadows of doubt, the conflict that you have with yourself, dueling every single day. It is time for you to turn your attention to the enemies around you that is trying to destroy your life. They want your very soul. That is the price for holding your secret. We believe if we keep our mouth shut, we believe that if we partition that part of our brain to keep that secret hidden, that we can go on living and not worry about the truth. But we must set the truth free so that we may open our souls and our hearts truly to God, so that we may be able to walk to the altar of God and say that we are free, free to serve you, free to be your child, free to be everything that I was meant to be, free to move the roadblocks out of the way and walk the path of destiny. This world promises us nothing but heartbreak, nothing but shame, nothing but pain. There is no gain here. Everything has a limit. We buy things and we have to get warranties because there is a possibility that it will break down. There is a possibility that it won't work anymore. And that is the same for us. There's a possibility that we may never be able to move on beyond the point of how we were hurt deep down inside. We may cover it up and have a family and have a husband and have a wife and have children, but that secret is still deep within us, eating away at a lining of our soul, because it's now time to release the truth. I talked about what I've been through in my life in these shows, the abuse that I went through, the power that God has given me to be able to discern others who have been through the same pain in a different way. I was abused for 14 years, held in a cage called home. Could never go outside but look at the window and watch children play, watch them slowly grow up, watch them have fun. While in my room there was a bed and a table. My existence was lonely until God entered my life and began to help me build who I am today. Piece by piece, step by step, He changed me. I was the little boy that was bullied. I was the little boy that wore the clothes of others. That was too small for me. That wasn't popular for society. I was a kid that you never spoke to. I was a kid that roamed the halls and people ignored me unless they were picking on me. I was a child that reached out for help and got nothing. I was a child begging for help, begging to be saved. And yet I wasn't. And when I came with my truth to the altar of God, as I assumed that it was the altar of God, I was rejected and cast out. And I knew it was because this is the path that the Lord wanted me to take. I was so sure in my life, in the things that I was doing, that these things would please God. I studied the word harder, pushing myself beyond the limits, beyond the times. I traced the footprints all the way back to the beginning and still working on it. But I found the footsteps of God in every generation, in every era, in every eon. I found God. I found the words of God. Between thunder and a perfect mind, between the gospel of Thomas, between the philosophy of Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, I seen his work in etymology. I seen his power in Latin. I seen his power in metaphysics. I seen his power in science and biology. I seen his footprints all over. I seen his footprints in our forefathers. I seen his footprints in the words that Malcolm X spoke and Dr. Martin Luther King spoke. The truth in Dick Gregory's speaking. I see the truth in Cornel West. I found my answers in books, in TV. I found my answer, my truth, in every form, in every way, in every piece of God's kingdom. God says that the kingdom of God is in you and all around you. I have begun to heal as an adult. I began to heal as a child and a servant of God. My truth, the burden I used to carry, is now gone. Because I realized that when he says, speak your testimony, he's asking you to release the darkness, the shame, the pain, the hurt, the anger, the anguish, to release that. And when I began to release my story and tell my story, I started to begin to hear the stories of others that compared to mine. The others who had suffered through what I was going through as a child, if not worse. My truth is that I am a humble man now because I know that I'm not alone. I know what this generation is going through. I know what you are going through. It's hard to climb that ladder out the ditch while everyone else is already moving onto the plane of somewhere else. You're trying to play catch up. You're trying to get to that point where you can feel satisfied. But for us, we will never be satisfied until we feel that whole with God. We are God's children before we are the children of anyone else. Behold, we stand as the children of destiny. Behold, we stand as a garrison of truth. Behold, we have become whole once again because we find the Spirit of God. Now, I know it's not my job to lead you to God. I know it's not my job to try to heal you. I know it's not my job to try to comfort you. But I hope that I fulfilled my mission by allowing you to see that this is the time in your life that you should be fighting for yourself, that you should be fighting for everything that you have gained, that you should be fighting the enemy with the power of truth, that you're supposed to let go of the baggage that you carry. You should be able to tell the stories that you could never tell before and be believed because the Lord has brought you through. It is time for you to stop sugarcoating your life and begin to tell the story, the true story of who you are. You are a part of a nation. You are part of a generation that has gone through pain and suffering that I wish on no man. My truth is I will always be going through pain and anguish. And I have accepted that. I accept that my mind can do nothing but analyze the truth. That I will always be able to discern whether someone is being polite or being true. Whether when they say good morning, whether they mean it or just saying it because it's the polite thing to do. Whether people honestly want to know how I'm doing or just saying it. My truth is that once I open my heart, once I open my soul, the Lord has came in to dwell. He has taught me. He has walked with me. He has spoken to me. He adores me because I rocked the boat. I changed the way people think. I changed the way people feel. I challenge people to go beyond their limits. Not because I want to see them fail, but I want to see them to see beyond the level of where they are now. Because I broke a lot of glass ceilings. I was a manager at 16. I was a chef by the time I was 20. I was working at some of the top restaurants there was in the city. I was opening up stores. I was freeing minds. I was opening doors. I was comforting those who were in tears because they were afraid to take that next step. But I promised them that if they made that next step, I would be with them always. Some thought it was just a joke. Some thought it was just a moment of reflection. But I am here still standing on my holy ground saying that when I promised you that I would be here, I am here. I'm always here. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, I am here. I am real. For those who are going through, for those who love my messages, for those who want to hear me speak all the time, who wants to know, who wants to wake up and be inspired, look at my Facebook page, Jazrael Kavan. And you will see that every day, no matter how I feel on the inside, I'm spending my time inspiring. I am there to listen to you. I answer to you. That's who I answer to. The Almighty has given me a gift to be able to speak, to be able to move, to be able to stand, to be able to move beyond barriers. He has given me the power to release my story. I had a gun in my hands at 4 years old, ready to pull the trigger. I remember that clearly. I remember being hung out of a window by my feet. I remember being duct taped to the roof. I remember them burning me. I remember them chasing me with crabs. I remember them chasing me with skulls. I remember my childhood being a childhood of fear. I remember my teenage years being years of fear. I remember becoming an adult was years of fear. It took me a while to catch on that I had nothing to fear but fear itself. That God came to me and offered me a deal that he would take my fear and trade it with truth and wisdom. And when I began to trade off my fear for truth and wisdom, I woke up. I woke up in a world of chaos. I woke up in a world of people doing things they had no business doing. I woke up with a voice that was as powerful as my stand. I realized that I had no fear of the bullies. I had no fear of those who remembered the little boy who couldn't talk because he was so afraid. And he met a man that was powerful in words and deeds, that had an army with them, an army of angels, that I didn't just come by myself, that my promises were backed by a guarantee that I deliver 9 times out of 10, that I can open doors for you, that I can free your mind, that I can be able to sit down and listen and write a prescription for your ailments, write a prescription to keep your emotions in line, to write a prescription for freedom. By the authority of God, I have been able to do things that I never dreamed of. I never thought I would live to see 18, but I did. It was bad for me growing up. It was truly tragic that 2 children had to endure what they did. But me and my sister have come through the other side. Me and my sister have come to a place of power. Me and my sister have come to a place of peace. Me and my sister began to fight back and give back to the community that raised us, to the community that needed us. We have been awesome in our footsteps. But we don't do it for glory. We do it because it is what should be done. It is what everyone should be doing. Giving back to the community. Giving back to those who need us. We shouldn't just brush them aside, but speak to them with the authority of God. When the disciples asked Jesus, "What shall I say?" he said, "Don't worry about what you're going to say, because God will speak through you." All you got to do is be there on time. Be there. Guide them. Show them. Teach them. Lead them. Free them. My truth is that God has given me more than just to give. God has given me the key of freedom to free myself and to free others. My truth is I have gone through the fire of pain and anguish, and here I stand, beautiful. Here I stand, more powerful than ever. My truth has set me free.